I'm back. Actually, my illness drove me to the hospital. Here's what happened. I was getting ready for work since I just missed a day. I'm doing a little exercise, so I'll explain later. Yeah, I'm tired, breathing all hard. So I scoot down the steps. My Uber, since my job was like 30 minutes away, I'm not walking 30 minutes away after 5 years at retail on my feet all day. Anywho, when I get inside the car, I'm breathing all hard. My Uber driver was looking at me like I'm about to die, but kept telling me to breathe slowly. So he dropped me off of work. And I was walking slowly, breathing hard as well. The staff pharmacist took one good look at me and told me to go home. And my colleague was trying to check up on me. Of course, I wasn't fit to work that day. So I grabbed some Depends, since I'm bleeding very heavily, didn't have the period panties I needed. Right. Let me just take a little break. I'm getting a little lightheaded. Anywho, I'm waiting in the break room. One of the store managers is in the room with me. I was trying to look on my phone about doctors or hospitals I can go without an appointment. I just felt tired, nauseated. They had a heater on because the pharmacy's cold. So I asked her to please turn off the heater. I told her I felt like I'm about to throw up, so she called an ambulance. And lo and behold, I'm starting chucking 3 times. The 4th time was like a little bit, and she was able to push the trash can next to me. So the ambulance came. Alright, that reminds me I have to refill my juice or finish what's left of my Stanley. I had a vomit all over my clothes. And I was having trouble breathing every time I moved, like to get up and walk. So, what? Sorry. Anyway, I get through the hospital through the ambulance. Yeah, so I have heavy blood flow, anemia, and blood clots just oozing out of me. Of course, the nurse who was checking me in, who gave me ondansetron, that's nausea medication for nausea, I was upset because I wanted 1 month, one good month. I had to spend my birthday sick with the flu. I mean, I didn't know that I was having anemia attacks. I was feeling lightheaded or had a hot flash on my head. Anyway, it's been going for like quite a few times at work. Let's see. What else? So I had to change out of my clothes. Had to put on a Depends and pad. Of course, I mean, it was kind of hard to be in the hospital. I didn't tell my dad because he was out of town and I thought it was going to be an in and out thing. Why don't I go to hospital sooner? Because one, I spent 5 years unemployed. I was in college. 5 years of paying off student debt. Let's see. Sorry. I'm drinking some watered down orange juice. I have to do some exercise so the blood clotting won't mess me up again. I was breathing heavy when my sister had to call my dad to alert him that I was in the hospital. He first thought I was panicking. No, they had to literally put me on oxygen because I was having trouble breathing. It felt like I was ran a marathon. Yeah, I had a huge blood clot in my chest, which would explain why I would have trouble going up and down my house steps without, excuse me, having to take a break. Yeah, before went to work, it got so bad I felt dizzy and lightheaded. Then I had to take a crawl up the stairs and take a break on the 3 more steps, the landing. Alright, now where was I? I have cystic fibroids. Let's see. I have anemia. Of course, being in the hospital was rough. The food was tolerable. It's just that actually a handful of the staff was okay. It's just the rest was like hanging out with being taken care of by ADHD teenagers. Here's an example. I know that ho- I know hospitals are understaffed, but it took them 2 hours from the MRI to get me back up to my room. And let's see. When I was having surgery to get the blood clot out, they had to into go next to my groin and to my chest. I mean, it was the most uncomfortable thing I ever had. I wasn't completely out. I can hear them talking. Of course, the machine, it was small, not for someone who's not size 0. I felt like my shoulders were about to cramp. I told them about this, and they basically blew me off. I mean, I couldn't get comfortable. So that is. Then I did spend a night in the ICU. Of course, it's kind of hard to do when you have so many people in pain, screaming. Yeah, I'd use like the TV as white noise because it kind of helps me sleep. I don't watch TV, but I use YouTube. Anywho, one of the nurses that was helping me was cool, but my pet peeve was she kept dropping my charger cord on the ground. Alright, let's see. Yeah, when I was sent to get both my legs scanned, the technician, she literally pressed on my incision after I told her that I just had surgery there, causing it to bleed some more. One of the doctors, before taking me to the place where I had to get my leg scanned to see if I had any blood clots, yeah, they basically took off the bandages and cut the sutures or whatever. And I swear, the MRI machine is not great for people who are more endowed on the backside. I mean, the beds were hard as rocks. I don't understand how anyone can be comfortable in a hospital. I'm not saying we should be in a hospital, but it was so uncomfortable. Right? Gotta finish my. Yeah, my family came to see me, my dad's side of the family. So, they had to stop with the scan because the tech pushed on my on the incision part, and it took a couple of nurses to stop the bleeding and wrap it up. It was so painful. Here's the scarring from the IVs. You guys see it? I mean, I never actually had time to go to the hospital, and I literally had to get new insurance because my job shut off my insurance without telling me because they thought since my hours were cut that I was part-time. Yeah. Anywho, I went from having my own room to sharing with like two different women. Of course, the staff forgot the first woman's stuff. Yeah, I spent majority of the time either napping, going to the bathroom, or watching TV shows related to crime and drama, like the Blue Bloods. Anyway, so I'm at home right now. They were able to finish the scan on my other leg. All right. And technically, I underestimated how sick I was. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Tell me what you guys think. Sorry to scare and gross you guys out.